Alright, let's try this again. Oh. Alright, so I just did this whole loop. Got back to camp. The GoPro turned off in the first 5 seconds. So, I've had worse problems in life, having to do another ride of the same ride because it was super fun and I enjoyed doing it. So, we're gonna go do the loop again. This is the Shamrock Loop. Oh, it's so easy to lift the front end on this bike. That was a fucking rock. Yikes. Felt that one hit the rim. Anybody coming up? This is two ways, so you gotta be careful here. Nope, nobody's here. Alright. Yeah, this is another little two-way section. Mud bog, one way, hill climb. We don't want to go to hill climb, we want to go here. Ooh, rocks. Rocks, rocks, rocks. So many rocks out here in western Pennsylvania. Oh, I'm sad. I just did this 28-minute ride. Got done and all the footage had not been recorded. I was talking about all kinds of fun stuff. Like, got to try to remember what I was talking about. Alright. Got past the congestion, and we are on a route to the Shamrock Trail. Alright, four-wheeler, your side of the road, please. It's getting a little busier this afternoon now. I've done this route 3 times already today. I really like it. It's fun. You know, like, it's just a good time. Alright, let's get around these guys, you big wide mother. Alright, here we go. So, just left the campsite. These are all the things we can do. I have been doing Shamrock because I'm familiar with it and I think it's fun, it's wide, and right now it's a little muddy, but we're gonna go do it anyway. So yeah, I just did Gunner's Run, then I came over here to do this trail. I started the camera again as a new clip. Put my helmet on, did the ride, finished, and it's as if the camera was never turned on at all. Maybe I made a mental error, didn't hit the record button, who knows, but either way, we're back out here doing it again, because why not? The reason I like this trail is because it's kind of like riding on a dirt road, but it's a little bit more technical. This is like a medium trail, it's a blue trail, so here it's green, blue, red. There's also black, but black is a single track. Because basically all the single track here is hard as hell. There was one earlier that I was able to ride in second gear a lot, and that was cool. But then it would cut into the woods, and it had just rained, and the woods were sketchy. The woods sections of that single track were just, they were hard to get through. Lots of roots, lots of slippery things, lots of dropping your bike. So I've been enjoying getting back out here on this stuff, just because this is kind of where the 450 likes to be. Popping wheelies, hitting little jumps, and moving forward. But there is some single track back here. It's like right off to the right, it goes up the hillside. Holy moly, we did that one earlier. I just about gave up. I almost threw in the towel. I actually did take the first bailout, let my guys keep going, and they got back to camp later on, and they were dead. They were so dead. They like literally like parked the bike and fell over on the ground to just catch their breath. Like they were being dramatic, but I mean it was just I believed every little bit of the dramaticness because I understood what they just went through. I did one section of the 4 sections they did, and the first section was easier and they kept progressively getting harder, and even the first easy section was pretty darn difficult. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to take the billet, I'm going to go ride this Shamrock loop, and they all just they continued, and the Shamrock loop is about a 30-minute loop. So I did that, and I got back to camp, and they got back to camp another 30 minutes later. So they were in the single track for a good hour. So yeah, one thing I was going to talk about, one thing I did talk about just about an hour ago that I didn't record, was about how the ECU has really changed this bike. You know, like, I had a stock ECU, I broke the bike out on the road, I took it out in the woods one day, I experienced lots of silly little jerky throttle situations, and I didn't like it. So I did a bunch of research. There's about 3 main companies that offer ECUs for this bike that are like, you know, the good top 3. Let's just talk about the top dogs, because ECUs are expensive. They range from $800 to $1,000. So let's start at the bottom. The $800 option is the Vortex. The Vortex is also the OG, and it's been everybody's first ECU if they bought the bike 2 or 3 years ago, because the other ones are kind of just coming out. And it's like analog. The main thing about the Vortex is that you gotta like take your seat off if you want to adjust it, because you need to use a screwdriver to like make manual adjustments, and that's its main downfall for many riders, unless you're a set it and forget it kind of guy, which I probably would be. But either way, that's a knock against it comparatively. And so also it doesn't get the best gas mileage. People claim that their gas mileage drops off pretty significantly when they get the Vortex. So yeah, I didn't bother with that one. I'm talking too much, I'm not riding enough. Oh well, we'll get it on the back end. There's lots of fun stuff on the back end. Plus I'm still kind of in a 2-track area. Alright, so then there's the other 2. These are the 1 and 2. They're the true competitors of each other. There's the AIM, the AIM, and there's the GET, G-E-T. I have the GET. The main difference is that the GET is basically, I watched a review, this guy put it so well. You have like 2-cylinder motorcycles and you have 4-cylinder motorcycles. And then you have triples. And the triples are like that perfect compromise. You got the low end, you got the top end, you got it all. Well, that's what the GET does for the CRF 450. It just gives you everything. It doesn't give you any huge punch anywhere, but it just gives you everything. It becomes more linear, it smooths everything out, and the best part for me is it's got this little Wi-Fi module, so I can do any adjustments I want from my cell phone. I just basically log into it, and that's super cool. And then the AIM, the AIM, AOL Instant Messenger, is basically the opposite of that. It's more like now you got your twin. You just got pure torque. You can pop wheelies in any gear. It's like meant for a motocross track. It can really just rap, you know, it just rips. But it's a little bit lacking on the top end. Like if you're on the freeway cruising, it's a little buzzy, it's a little weird. It's just not what people like for true dual sport. And I'm honestly going for much more of a true dual sport situation on my bike. So the GET has been, it's been great for my style of riding. I'll give you 2 examples of things it did. All right, so I live in South Philly. When I leave my neighborhood, when I leave my block, I ride out the block in first gear, and I try to keep it under 10 miles per hour because it's very residential. When I was doing that with the OEM ECU, it was like just jerky. Now it's just smooth. You know, I can lug it, and it can lug so well. And then on the other end of the spectrum, when I had the stock ECU, I could go 60 on the freeway, and it felt great. And then I get to 70, and it got buzzy. Well, now with the new ECU, the Athena GET ECU, I can go about 70 and it feels great. And when I get to 80, it starts to feel buzzy. So, I mean, that's an improvement to me because I really will be utilizing this bike on the freeways. I will be going 70 miles per hour when I need to because traffic flows pretty fast. And, boom! Oh, that was fun. Hold on, we gotta hit this first. And, yeah, so it's really working out for me, personally. Now you know why I like the Shamrock Trail. 4th gear jumps. Oh, it's fun. So fun. Love it. This is how I like to ride the CRF. The So yeah, that's kind of a topic I just felt like it'd be good to talk about for anybody who like watches this video and is curious about my impressions of the CRF 450, things I've done to make it more for me. I haven't done a lot. I put a new computer in it, and I put the one that I felt like worked for my needs. And that's the big thing here. It's like, what are your needs? You have to identify its use case scenario, you know? Like, I had to sit down and think long and hard about how I'm going to treat this bike, what I value in a bike, how I want to ride it. And once I figured that out and took a hardline stance on this is what I'm doing, I went for the thing that was going to work best for me. Are there drawbacks? A little bit. I'll tell you one thing. Here's a good example. This is something I think is weird. Actually, let me not be in a corner when I do this, but I'm going to stop and I'm going to turn my bike off. Yeah, this is a good spot. Kind of off the trail. So with the stock ECU, when the bike was super warm, and this is on the street, this is anywhere. If I ride 30 miles down the road on the freeway, just chilling at 50 miles per hour, and I stop to get gas and I kill my engine, when I'm done pumping my gas, I go to turn the bike back on. It's kind of a pain in the butt to start back up. Let's see. So it just has a little bit of a trouble starting. Cold starting in the morning though, first try, no choke, nothing. Because I have a little choke puller down here, and I haven't used it one time since I put the ECU in. So that's a slight drawback. I reached out to the company, and they basically gave me some information to go in the app and adjust my idle, which I did. I went and I added 13% fuel to it, and it did get better. Is it 100% solved? No. But is it tolerable? Yeah, look, it wasn't that bad. And I feel like it's like one of those things where as the bike breaks in and stuff, like everything's lubricating and gelling together, it's gonna get better. So I'm not gonna freak out and be like, oh, it used to start really easy and now it doesn't start super easy when it's hot. I'm just gonna ride the bike, try not to stall it, and enjoy it. And if it got out of hand or something, then the cool part is I bought my ECU from a really good company based out of Las Vegas, Nevada, called Takamoto. These guys are riding enthusiasts. They ride themselves. They do all kinds of good builds. They're really, I mean, if you're trying to do things to your motorcycle, I very much suggest them, because truly, these guys care. They care about you. Like, I went back and forth with them. I literally sent these guys an email, and I said, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I want to keep my bike stock. What do you recommend? They're like, this is the thing for you. We believe in this. And I'm like, cool. And you know what? They weren't wrong. All right, I wanted to stop and tell you the end of that story because I'm about to go down sliding on my butt. I've been riding with these guys earlier and they told me, get your weight back and just drag that rear brake. Good advice. Good advice to live by. Oh, I wanted to pop over that one, but I saw this sloppy stuff on the other side, so no thanks. So yeah, now that I've told you my story, giving you a little insight as to what I've done to this bike and what I'm not really going to have to do much more of, which is performance-based, we can just ride. So other than that, I put some bark busters, some radiator shrouds, I'm good to go. Now I can enjoy the thing, and man, am I enjoying it today. It's beautiful up here. It's like 78 degrees. I'm not sweating too much. Yesterday was a little sunny, but we got some rain this morning, and that did wonders for us. Obviously, it's a little muddy, but oh, who minds a little mud? I don't mind a little mud. Plus the trails look pretty good right now. It's definitely starting to dry out. Ooh, gotta pick my lines right. There we go. Haha. Oh, I love hitting jumps. Oh, it brings back such good memories of younger days. I was never a motocross racer or rider, but I really enjoyed going to a motocross track. So down that way, I don't want to go down there again. I went down earlier today. Is an amazing vantage point of the valley and the mountains across the valley. It's so beautiful. So I'll insert here a little clip I took of my cell phone, because when I came back up that hill I stalled, because it's a two-way trail going up the hill down to the thing. And I don't want to get in that scenario again. That sucked. I stalled in the worst spot to stall, like on an incline with rocks behind me. It was tough. It was so tough to get out. I ended up dropping the bike just trying to wiggle my way out of there. So I got a little PTSD, but I saw it once. I got it on camera, and now I can share it with you guys. Ruts, rocks. Man, this back tire is great. For stock tires, I have nothing against this back tire, except for wet roots. Wet roots in this back tire don't do well. But I have a feeling that's most tires, because wet roots and single track, it's about as annoying as it gets. Third gear climbing. Oh, that was fun. So yeah, that's the Shamrock Trail. It's a good time. It's a lot of this. Take a second. A little out of breath. One thing I've learned this weekend is that if you start feeling a little tired, slow down. Because if you're gonna crash, that's when you're gonna crash. So I just chill out. So yeah, I did eventually put the bark busters on, and I'm happy I did it because I've dropped this bike twice today, once on the left, once on the right, and between that and the radiator guards that protect the side for impact, two worthwhile investments. I'm happy I went through the trouble of like cutting off the grips. I had to cut the throttle tube out with a little pipe cutter, which was actually pretty easy. $12 at Lowe's, and I cut it with a pipe cutter. And then I was able to put the bark busters in, classic style, bar insert style. And yeah, they saved my butt today, so happy that I did it. Ooh, that was a tricky one. Oh yeah, this is second gear. This is a pretty gnarly, rocky left turn hill climb. You gotta keep your momentum like no other. Woo, buddy, made it. All right. And we got a down tree over here. Boom. Oh, this engine feels great. The three-stroke analogy, the three-cylinder analogy that's a great way to describe what this ECU did for the bike. It really did become a three-cylinder, in theory. Of course, it's still a single. It's still a thump bike. And boy, does she thump. But she thumps so good. Alright, that was a fun section back there. That's kind of the most gnarly it gets. And that's what I like about this trail. It's mostly flow, but there's some spots, like this is another little one where you got some deep ruts, and you got to climb up, and in the ruts are a bunch of rocks, and they're pretty darn annoying, but you just pick your line. Like I like the left, that's my jam. And cut to the middle if I have to, if I start sliding. Same thing here. Got to cut your own path sometimes. I was doing that a lot today in the single track, just kind of cutting my own path. It reminded me of what we used to do when I was growing up in Florida, because everything was so sandy. You would just cut through the forest because you could at least ride in the dirt, and you would just cut your own paths. You just pick your lines, ride in first and second gear, and that was our version of single track down there. All right. Starting to get familiar enough with this place where I know when to slow down, what corners are annoying. Like this one right here is pretty annoying, because you either go through the mud puddle and hit it right, or you take it really wide. And you know me, I'm not trying to get muddy. Well, if you looked at the bike, you wouldn't believe me when I said that. But I try not to get muddy. Just it's pretty hard when you're riding all day. Yeah, the rear wheel slip on this is great. I'm really enjoying it in the corners. I'm still like kind of taking it easy. I don't want to low side. I mean, whoever wants the low side. I'm trying to learn what that threshold is still. So I've enjoyed riding in the back of the pack because I've been riding with guys all day. And I like to stick to the back with the other guys who are kind of taking their time. And I'm just like, learning. I'm trying to go to work on Monday, so I don't want to get hurt. Just out here trying to learn the dynamics of this motorcycle. Having a good time doing it. Oh yeah, back in two-way traffic. Let's slow it down and stick to the right side. So yeah, that's the Shamrock loop. Did Gunner's Run, did Shamrock, shit ton of single track. I didn't even want to record the single track. I didn't want to embarrass myself. I mean, I made it. I definitely made it, but it wasn't always so pretty. There was a lot of clutching. Oh, let me know where I stood though. And that was cool. And it also let me know that I could trust this baby. She might be a 450 motocross DNA kind of motor, but she lugged up some seriously technical stuff today. And other than just the fact that I'm not the best rider right now and that I was stalling and stuff, I mean, she was there. She was doing a good job getting me up stuff. Rocks, bumps, roots, you name it. She was taking me there. My only limitation was the slippery stuff with my stock tires. And honestly, I don't even know if that's so much an issue with the tires. It's just an issue of riding slippery stuff when it's wet outside. Picking that wide. So yeah, these woods are beautiful. I'm loving the woods up here. This is different than Eastern Pennsylvania. It feels a little different. So yeah, I'm about to go back out to the parking lot. Nothing really to see there except for a bunch of exhausted buddies. That was the day. It was beautiful out here in Western PA. Hope you guys have a good one. I'll catch you in the next one. You know I'm having a good one. Friendly people. I like friendly people. Shoot, I always do this. That is not the right way. This is the right way. Shooting mud everywhere. Do a little scouting real quick. Blue is kind of my sweet spot. I like blue. Shamrock was great. Gunner's Run, which is on a sign back over there because the other side of the park was great. This is some thick mud we got here. It's just everywhere. Oops, back in the GoPro. It's caked. This bike is going to need a proper bath when I get home. Actually, I think they have a bike wash here, which is super convenient. Leave the dirt where you got it. She's caked. Although, look at that radiator. Radiator's clean. It's a good design, Honda. I appreciate you. Because those flaps are not so clean, as you can see. But if you can see in that metal right there, let's get a close up. She is not dirty at all. Minimal. That, however, is caked up. But yeah, I've dropped on both sides, nothing bent. Got some radiator guards right in here. Those things are killing it. Works connection. I recommend them. Easy to install too. They're just side guards, I don't have front guards, but as you can see, the stock front guards aren't doing too bad. Alright guys, 2 thumbs up on the Honda. She's a great bike. And she's starting to start easier every time. Took off my audio device. We're just going raw GoPro audio right now. Wind noise and everything. But I'll just put a little music over this. If it's that bad, lower it. But this is a fun little whole time. Not this one in particular. The next one. This one is this is the entrance to the fun. buddy. The windmill park. See ya.